Hey there, fellow travelers. Getting ready for your next big adventure? Well, buckle up because the travel landscape is evolving faster than ever. Remember those carefree days of just showing up at the airport? Things have changed a bit. From new passport rules to stricter security measures, staying informed is key to smooth sailing. That's why I've teamed up with Airlines Vacation to bring you this essential guide to navigating the new world of travel. We'll unpack the latest changes, share insider tips, and help you avoid those travel hiccups that can really cramp your style. So, whether you're a seasoned globetrotter or planning your very first trip abroad, stick with us. We'll make sure you're ready to embrace the future of travel with confidence and excitement. First things first, let's talk about the Real ID Act. Remember hearing about this a few years back? Well, it's finally here. Starting in May 2025, that old driver's license might not cut it for domestic flights anymore. You'll need a Real ID-compliant driver's license, a passport, or another approved form of identification to board those planes. Think of it as your new ticket to ride within the US. Now, if you're like me, you might be thinking, passport? For domestic flights, really? And yes, it might seem a tad excessive, but the idea is to enhance security and streamline the whole identification process. Look, nobody likes waiting in those long airport lines, right? So, this is a step towards making things smoother and safer for everyone. Now, if you haven't already, check with your local DMV to see if your license is Real ID compliant. If not, no worries. Getting one isn't a big hassle. Just a little paperwork and you'll be good to go. And hey, while you're at it, take a peek at your passport's expiration date. If it's getting close, you can now renew it online. A lot easier than the old days. Just remember, once you submit that application, your current passport is officially retired, so plan accordingly. Now let's hop across the pond to Europe, where they're rolling out a new system called ETIAS, the European Travel Information and Authorization System. Don't let the fancy name scare you, it's actually pretty straightforward. If you're from a country that doesn't usually need a visa to visit Europe like the US, Canada, or Australia, you'll need to apply for this ETIAS authorization before you pack your bags. Think of it like a quick online check-in before you go. It only takes a few minutes to fill out the application online, and it's good for multiple trips within a 3-year span. And don't worry, it's not about making things harder for travelers. It's all about keeping Europe safe and secure. Now, while we're on the subject of Europe, let's talk about those pesky baggage rules. You know, the ones that always seem to change just when you think you've got them figured out? Well, the good news is that the EU is working on standardizing baggage sizes and weight limits. But here's the thing, it's still a work in progress. So, until then, my best advice is to double-check with your specific airline before you start packing. Each airline has its own set of rules, and you don't want to get caught with unexpected baggage fees. Trust me on that one. Okay, let's talk airport security. I know, not the most thrilling part of travel, but hey, it's a necessary evil. The good news is that airports are constantly upgrading their security procedures to make things smoother and more efficient for everyone. One of the biggest changes you'll notice is the increasing use of technology. Remember those old-school X-ray machines? Well, they're being replaced with high-tech 3D scanners that can detect even the tiniest of prohibited items. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie. And speaking of technology, self-service kiosks are popping up everywhere. From checking in for your flight to printing your boarding pass, these kiosks are designed to put you in control and speed up the whole process. No more waiting in those long lines. Now, while airports are working hard to make things easier, there are also a few new rules being implemented to ensure a safer and more comfortable travel experience for everyone. One of these rules, and this might seem like a no-brainer, is the prohibition of bare feet. Yes, you heard that right. No more strolling through the airport in your socks, or, heaven forbid, barefoot. So make sure you pack a pair of comfortable shoes that you can easily slip on and off. Your fellow passengers will thank you. And hey, while we're on the topic of airport etiquette, let's remember to be patient and courteous to the airport staff and our fellow travelers. We're all in this together, right? Now let's talk airlines. They're not just about getting you from point A to point B anymore. They're stepping up their game to improve the entire passenger experience. And part of that involves, you guessed it, new rules and regulations. First up, baggage policies. Now I know this is a touchy subject for some of us, but the reality is that airlines are cracking down on oversized and overweight bags. Why? Well, it all comes down to fuel efficiency and ultimately, keeping those ticket prices in check. So, my advice? Pack light. Embrace the art of minimalist travel and only bring what you absolutely need. Your back and your wallet will thank you. On a more positive note, many airlines are introducing more flexible cancellation and refund policies. We all know that life can throw unexpected curveballs our way, so it's reassuring to know that you have options if your travel plans need to change. And finally, let's talk customer service. Airlines are investing in improving their customer service channels, both online and offline. So if you have a question, concern, or need assistance with your booking, don't hesitate to reach out. They're there to help. Alright, now that we've covered the major changes, let's talk about how you can prepare for your next trip and ensure a smooth and enjoyable travel experience. First and foremost, stay updated. The world of travel is constantly evolving, so it's crucial to stay informed about the latest rules, regulations, and travel advisories. A great way to do this is by signing up for email alerts from your preferred airlines and travel providers. Next up, plan ahead. This might seem like a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised how many people leave everything to the last minute. Booking your flights and accommodations in advance, especially during peak travel seasons, can save you a lot of headaches and money. And speaking of packing, let's talk about packing smart. Remember our discussion about baggage policies? Well, this is where it comes into play. Pack light, follow the latest baggage restrictions, and consider using packing cubes to maximize space and keep your belongings organized. Another important tip, arrive early. With enhanced security measures in place, it's more important than ever to arrive at the airport with plenty of time to spare. This will give you ample time to navigate security checkpoints, check your bags, and find your gate without feeling rushed. And last but not least, let's all make a pact to be patient and kind to one another. Traveling can be stressful, especially with all the new rules and regulations. But let's remember that we're all in this together. A little bit of patience and understanding can go a long way. Now, I've shared my 2 cents on navigating the new travel landscape, but I wanted to bring in some reinforcements. We've reached out to a few travel experts and influencers to get their take on the latest trends and their top tips for stress-free travel. One thing I always tell my clients is to invest in a good quality, lightweight suitcase. It's worth the splurge. Don't forget to download your airline's app. It's a lifesaver for checking in, tracking your bags, and staying up to date on your flight status. My biggest piece of advice is to pack a portable charger. You never know when you'll need to juice up your phone or other devices. I know you probably have a lot of questions about these new travel changes, so let's take some time to address the most common ones. Question 1. What are the specific requirements for a real ID? To get a real ID, you'll need to provide documentation proving your identity, date of birth, social security number, and residency. This typically includes documents like a birth certificate, passport, social security card, and 2 proofs of residency. Check with your local DMV for a complete list of acceptable documents. Question 2. How can I prepare for the new security screening procedures? To breeze through security, wear shoes that are easy to slip on and off, empty your pockets and remove any belts or jewelry before you get to the scanner, and pack your liquids and gels in a clear quart-sized bag. And remember, patience is key. Question 3. What are the best practices for packing luggage under the new regulations? Invest in a lightweight suitcase that meets your airline's size and weight restrictions, use packing cubes to maximize space, and roll your clothes instead of folding them. And remember, less is more. Only pack what you absolutely need. Well, there you have it, your guide to navigating the ever-changing world of travel in 2025 and beyond. I hope you found this information helpful and that you feel more prepared for your next adventure. Remember, while the rules and regulations may be evolving, the joy of discovering new cultures, connecting with people from all walks of life, and creating lifelong memories remains at the heart of travel. So, pack your bags, embrace the unknown, and get ready for the adventure of a lifetime. Stay tuned for more travel updates and tips. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to be the first to know. Safe travels.